The FBI are back in town. And if you know how these people operate, then you understand they don't just show up to take fresh air. Anytime they land, somebody's already in trouble. Fraud boys in Ghana keep proving that they are the most careless group of people you can ever think of. Just a few months ago, a major operation shook the whole internet. Big names like Kofi Boat, Dadajo Remix, Pascal Agony, Derek Van Yeboah, and a few others were picked up clean. The rest scattered like rats. Some fled the country, some went into hiding, and some pretended they had traveled for vacation. But today, look at them. The same boys who were crying and shaking a few months ago are now back outside, acting like nothing ever happened. They are chilling, holding champagne bottles, buying brand new cars, and blowing their stolen money in clubs, Airbnbs, and expensive apartments. They've forgotten the heat that almost roasted them alive. Well, bad news for them. The feds are back in town, and this time, they are watching quietly. They are monitoring every move, every transaction, every flashy post, every suspicious friend group. And the funniest part is that these fraud boys don't even know they are being watched. The FBI is in town, working hand in hand with their informants, feeding them names, locations, and the latest movements of these boys. Very soon, some people will vanish again, and the streets will start shouting, "Hey, what happened?" But by then, it will be too late. The signs started showing before anybody even understood what was going on. Strange faces at the airport, quiet movements in the city. A few unusual vehicles are parked near certain government buildings. And then the whispers began small at first, then louder. The boys on the street, the money movers, the crypto runners, the digital hustlers, they all started asking the same question. Are the feds back in town? Yes, they are. And this time, they didn't come to talk. They came to finish what they started years ago. Right now, as we speak, federal agents from the United States are quietly landing again across Ghana, Nigeria, and South Africa. No announcement, no press release, no warning. They aren't here as tourists or consultants. They are here because the US government has officially restarted its largest crackdown on African internet fraud networks, an operation they paused but never abandoned. An operation they've now returned to with sharper technology, stronger evidence, deeper intel, and a different level of seriousness. They didn't even bother to hide it from the governments this time. Private meetings are happening at night in Accra, Lagos, and Johannesburg. Local law enforcement agencies across these countries already know the feds are back, and some of the top officers have been briefed. The cooperation is official, coordinated, and intense. The US. Agencies involved include the FBI, Secret Service, Homeland Security Investigations, and IRS criminal investigation. They have renewed agreements with these African nations, and their sole target is the big internet fraud networks that have been bleeding American citizens dry for years. The boys thought the dust had settled. They thought America had moved on. They thought the last wave of arrests was the end. But the truth is, the feds only stepped back to reorganize, gather more evidence, and refine their tracking systems. And now that they have returned, the way they operate is even scarier. They came back with upgraded crypto tracing systems, blockchain surveillance tools, international bank monitoring, social media intelligence, and hacking capabilities that can cut through VPNs, spoofed IP addresses, fake accounts, and encrypted devices. The feds have technology that can pull deleted WhatsApp chats, retrieve old Telegram messages, recover wiped phone data, and trace crypto transactions from Ghana to Dubai to Turkey to South Africa, even after multiple wallet jumps. Right now, their footsteps are on the ground. They are meeting EOCO officers in Ghana, EFCC operatives in Nigeria, and Hawks investigators in South Africa. They are examining seized laptops, combing through bank records, matching old evidence with new cases, and quietly marking houses they intend to hit. If you walk through the quiet areas of cantonments, Airport Residential, East Legon, Lekki, Victoria Island, Sandton, or Cape Town waterfront, you may not notice them, but they are there, blending in, watching, gathering intel, updating dossiers. The biggest shock to the underground world is how many informants are already talking. This time, the feds are not even working from scratch. They already have a full list of names, transaction histories, crypto wallets, IG accounts, and telephone numbers. Informants have leaked the structure of some of the newest syndicates. Some boys got arrested secretly, and flipped to save themselves. Some were promised reduced sentences if they helped gather evidence. Some just want revenge on old friends who betrayed them in business. Others are feeding information for money. So as the feds move through the cities, they are meeting people privately: drivers, caretakers, girlfriends, ex-partners, apartment agents, local bank insiders, fintech workers, and even rival scammers. Everybody who has a reason to talk is talking. And everything they say is going straight to the US system for analysis. The feds are building clean, sharp, solid cases that will lead to arrests nobody will see coming. This time, America is not here to disrupt, they're here to dismantle. What makes the situation even more serious is that the US government believes African cybercriminal networks have evolved. The boys no longer do just romance scams. They now do investment fraud, crypto fraud, business email compromise, fake fintech platforms, deepfake scams, phishing networks, and sophisticated laundering through crypto mixers and offshore accounts. These new methods stole billions from Americans in the last few years. The US economy is bleeding from online fraud, and the American government has declared it a national threat. So if that means flying agents into Accra, Lagos, and Johannesburg every 3 months, that's what they're going to do. If that means partnering with local governments to arrest and extradite suspects, they're ready. If that means throwing big money behind intelligence operations, they will not hesitate. Right now, the streets are uneasy. Big boys are suddenly quiet. Money is freezing in accounts. Crypto wallets are being emptied. Some apartments look abandoned. Some cars have been parked for days. The nightlife regulars are missing. The girls who usually move with the boys are asking too many questions. And the silence from certain WhatsApp and Telegram groups is louder than any gunshot. The boys know something is different. The arrests haven't started publicly yet, but they are happening quietly in rooms nobody hears about. And the moment America and local law enforcement are ready to make the public wave, names will drop, doors will break, and extradition flights will start taking off at Kotoka, Murtala, and OR. Tambo, the feds are back again in town, and every syndicate leader, every mid-level runner, every crypto mule, every romance scam operator, every impersonator, every launderer, and every person connected to these digital crimes can feel it in their bones. The atmosphere has changed. The fear is real. And the boys who thought they were untouchable are beginning to understand that this time they might not escape. The United States is not joking. Africa is now officially a front line in their cybercrime war. They have landed, they are moving, they are watching, and they are not leaving anytime soon. The moment the boys heard the first whispers that the feds were back, everyone started pretending to live a clean life. People who used to post bundles of dollars on Snapchat suddenly switched to motivational quotes. The usual weekend East Legon traffic the boys create with their convoy of rented cars went silent. Some of them even deleted their TikTok accounts overnight. It was so obvious that something had shifted in the air. The underground economy felt it first before the public even sensed a thing. The feds didn't come in like last time. That previous wave years back had noise, headlines, and drama. They arrested people in broad daylight. They stormed apartments. They took laptops out in front of neighbors. But now, they returned smarter. They understood the African terrain. They understood how the boys operate. They learned the language, the patterns, the timing, the digital footprints. They realized that the only way to win this war is to become silent, like the same boys they're hunting. And the silence is what's scaring everyone the most. When federal agents land in Ghana now, they don't come in large visible teams. They arrive in small groups of 2 or 3 with diplomatic clearance, blending with NGO personnel and foreign consultants. Their credentials don't expose them. Their movements don't attract attention. They stay in guest houses, private apartments, or secure embassy housing. Their transport isn't flashy. You'd see them and assume they are ordinary foreigners. But they are making forensic moves from morning till night. They work with local officers who know the terrains, the EOCO guys, the CID cyber unit techs, the NCA digital tracking teams, and immigration intelligence officers. These are people who understand where the boys hide, which apartments they use, which agents help them rent houses, which banks tolerate unusual transactions, which mobile money merchants handle suspicious volumes, and which girlfriends know too much about the operations. One of the biggest fears among the boys right now is how many trusted girlfriends are secretly assisting the investigations. A lot of the fraud boys have been using their partners' accounts and phones to hide transactions. They forget that relationships collapse. They forget that breakups turn into revenge. And the feds understand that emotional intelligence is as powerful as digital intelligence. They use it, they exploit it, they win with it. Some of these girls talk not because they want to betray anyone, but because the feds come in with the pressure nobody is ready for. They are calm, polite, and strategic. They present data and evidence that shocks the informant. They don't ask for confessions. They simply show what they already know. And when you see that level of information on paper, your house mapped, your car payments tracked, your crypto history laid out, your friends listed, you suddenly start talking without even realizing it. The informant network is the backbone of the current operation. Drivers, apartment caretakers, hotel staff, fintech workers, mobile money merchants, bank insiders, disgruntled friends, betrayed boys, jealous colleagues, everybody is a potential informant. And right now, everyone is talking because the money flow has slowed down, and fear has increased loyalty to the law. Nigeria is experiencing an even worse situation. The EFCC is cooperating heavily with the feds because they are also under pressure to clean up the country's image. Flights between Nigeria and the U.S. have been flagged for extra surveillance. Any young man buying a ticket with inconsistent financial history is being monitored. Bank accounts with sudden spikes are being checked. Even Airbnb reservations in Lagos are under heavier security review because too many fraud meetups happen in those places. South Africa, on the other hand, has become the new escape destination for many boys, especially those running crypto-heavy operations. The feds know this, and that's why they are working closely with the Hawks. They are mapping out the fraud centers in Cape Town, Sandton, Midrand, and Pretoria. They know the boys like big apartments, loud parties, and expensive cars. They know South Africa's banking system is a washing machine when left unchecked, and the feds are determined to slam that door shut. What's frightening is that the new strategy includes live tracking. They are not waiting for crimes to happen and then building cases. They are tracking fraud as it happens. The moment a boy impersonates an old American lady's son and asks her for $3,000 in Bitcoin, the system picks up the wallet, traces the chain, identifies the VPN location, and flags the device. Within minutes, the case is already in a queue. Within hours, a task force is assigned. Within days, an agency in Africa receives notice. The boys think they are moving fast, but the technology is 10 times faster now. The feds also brought a special team that handles crypto alone, not normal crypto, deep crypto. They know how to break chain mixers. They know how to reverse engineer wallet jumps. They know how to link blockchain movements to real identities. They even know the popular platforms the boys use to convert Bitcoin into gift cards, USDT, or cash. They know the exact Telegram groups where the boys trade. They know the admins. They know the moderators. Some of those moderators have already been compromised and are feeding them intel without realizing they've been identified. Right now in Ghana, some specific boys are under silent surveillance. Their houses are being watched. Their neighbors are being questioned. Their mobile money lines have been cloned for analysis. Their banks are cooperating behind the scenes. Their iPhones are flagged for data pulls. Their crypto exchanges have been contacted through international warrants. They have been under investigation for months. The strike hasn't happened yet because the feds want to finish the entire chain before they hit. They want the money source, the runners, the crypto handlers, the bank insiders, the mule accounts, the international collaborators, the gift card buyers, the exchangers, and the kingpins. When they strike, it won't be random boys. It will be entire syndicates. And the boys feel it. They feel it deeply. Their instincts are telling them the city isn't safe. The late night calls have reduced. The lounges that used to overflow with boys on Friday nights are now half empty. Even the girls who follow the gang have noticed that the mood is different. They're asking questions the boys don't want to answer. The feds are back in town, and they didn't return for small work. They returned to wipe out some of the biggest digital crime networks in Africa.